Boy, I know yesterday I said we were in the last days of February, and I was told that we were going to be getting like a lot of snow last night, but I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be to this degree. I mean, here's the thing. It's not like there's a lot of snow out there, but the combination of like the snowfall, the sound of both the snowfall and the wind was like loud. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it kept me up for a while. Ooh, oh. See what I mean? And needless to say, that's my low, because I barely really got any sleep last night. And on top of that, because I got a late start, I got to worry about hustling, because if I have places to go later, I got to leave significantly early because, well, there's a bunch of snow on the ground. Seriously, I can see outside right now, there's like a giant parking lot next to across the street from where I live, and there's like giant snowplows in there already. Like, it is insane. You can probably... Can you hear that on the camera? I think you can too. So sorry if the sound kind of just kind of annoying. Sorry about that. However, I can tell you that my high is all the good stuff that happened throughout the course of the day yesterday. You know, I saw a great episode of Hot Ones that I really do want to get into, because this episode of Hot Ones was different in a very good way. And the Go Big show, I gotta talk about that too. So yeah, those add to my high for the day. I also got my my car's okay. Went to get the tires rotated and oil changed, and a couple of things well. So car's okay. That's awesome. And my act of kindness was I actually had to chauffeur my grandmother around for a little bit yesterday. Nothing major. She just has a hair appointment. Yeah, that's usually where I take my grandma. I take her to the hairdresser. She goes to this one place in Corning called Bella Capelli. They're very nice people in there. I've seen it. I sort of say hi and talk to them a little bit, but they're very nice people. Very nice. Plus, they have some free drinks if you want one. Non-alcoholic, obviously. This is like the 0-calorie, like, sparkling soda, or whatever that is. Like grapefruit and stuff, and black cherry and those flavors or whatever. They're very good. So, I guess if you live in Corning and you get your hair styled, go to Bella Capelli, I suppose. There, I just gave Bella Capelli free publicity. And probably no one's ever really going to watch this anyway. Anyway, good morning and happy Friday, everyone. So, yeah. This is the last... Actually, no, I'll do these thoughts. I gotta talk about Hot Ones. So, okay. Yesterday's guest on Hot Ones was Dave Grohl. Now, I was very honest about how I've known nothing about this guy. Not a thing. In fact, I had to look up the fact that he was a drummer and the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, but he was also the drummer of Nirvana back when Kurt Cobain was alive. May he rest in peace. So, needless to say, this is yet another example where I drew a complete blank about this guy as the episode began. But right out of the gate, it's revealed that after Gordon Ramsay, Dave Grohl has been the most requested guest in all of Hot Ones. Really? This guy is? I mean, he seems like a nice guy. He's definitely a rocker, he has long hair, goatee, facial hair, and a sick pair of glasses, I'll give him that. But by all accounts, under different circumstances, this guy would look like a genuine nobody. No offense, because he's not. No one is ever a nobody, but you get the idea. Basically, a virtual unknown is what I meant to say. So what makes this particular individual so special? You know what? I wish I was holding a fork so I could eat my words. Because this episode was absolutely fantastic. Holy cow. Like, this is actually, this guy may be one of the most intellectual, thought-provoking, musically oriented people I think we've ever seen on the show. I mean, yeah, he's a drummer. The drummers never really get a lot of love. But Sean literally asked him, like, can you differentiate between a good drummer and a bad one? And Dave is like, okay, you can tell if a drummer is good or not by, after hearing 15 seconds of a particular song, you know it's them. Like, you hear 15 seconds of Ringo Starr from the Beatles, for example, you're going to know that's Ringo Starr. I'm like, shoot. As someone who specializes in vocals, sort of, you know, I say sort of, I do sing, I'm just not in a group or anything. So as someone who's been a singer himself, I never thought of it that way. That's literally no different than hearing 15 seconds of Paul McCartney sing, and you're like, that is Paul McCartney singing. I never thought of it that way before. Huh. Like, you can't, and he says you can't teach feeling. Like, yeah, you can sing, but you gotta bring feeling. But there has to be feeling behind it, and that's what makes them special. And you can't teach it. You gotta just have it within. And that's deep. And it's a message about life that we can all relate to. Like, we all have greatness within us to some capacity. You just gotta go out there and, you know, try and bring it out from within. In a way that's actually, you know, natural and good. You know, sometimes a little help along the way is nice. And surrounding yourself by good people is always a must-have, in my opinion. Whether you do it alone or not. But this virtual unknown, to me, is saying all these really nice things. I mean, he literally crossed off doing Hot Ones on his bucket list. He even said, like, when they were doing the last step, like, I watched, like, every episode of Saturday Night Live. I stepped on the stage, I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. I went to David Letterman. And he actually had a lot of nice things to say about David Letterman, too. He's like, I stepped on the David Letterman stage, he's like, oh my God, I'm here. And then he did this, he said the same thing about doing Hot Ones. I'm like, dude, this guy is, you know what? And I mean this in the nicest way possible. He is a human being who has likes and dislikes that can be really geeky and nerdy and really pretty much of an expert on one thing, just like anyone else can. Like, I see why Dave Grohl has been so highly requested. Because he may be one of the most relatable guests Hot Ones has ever had. At least to me. And you know what? I can end my thoughts on this episode by saying this. I went in this episode not knowing a darn thing about Dave Grohl. After watching the episode, I want to meet Dave Grohl and be his friend. I want to meet Dave Grohl and be his friend. There, I said it. That guy is awesome. So Dave Grohl, on the very slim chance you're watching this, hello? My name is Nick. Can I be your friend, please? I know, that isn't how it works. I know that is. I'm trying to add humor to an otherwise very heartwarming story. You can have humor in a heartwarming story. I think you can. As long as it's done, within reason, and you're being self-aware about it. I totally felt like I was being self-aware. Allegedly. But let's get into the Go Big Show now. Because every single act in the Go Big Show last night truly stepped up their game big time. Like, really big time. I mean, you have ultimately the winner of last night, the motorcycle jumper guy. It was because, like, the finals were, like, the final two choices were between, the umbrella lady and the motorcycle guy. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on everyone's names. And, like, both of them went the biggest. Like, everyone went a lot bigger than they did before, to be sure. But never did I think... I mean, seriously, the escape artist pretended like he actually got in trouble, but he actually used magic and illusions to, like, be like, don't worry, I think it'll be okay. Because he, like, gets out as one of the workers and helps everything, like, that's really cool. I'm actually kind of surprised that didn't go on, if we're being honest, but whatever. So, yeah. You have Manu, the Flying Frenchman, and now, the motorcycle jumper guy as, the second act in the finals. And how very fitting. They legit timed it perfectly, so... And keep in mind, my math has to be correct about this. They're going to have the finals, and the final episode of Season 2, the night after The Masked Singer airs. And... to a slightly lesser extent, the day Lent starts. So, yeah. It'll be a nice way to kick off Lent, wouldn't you say? So, yeah. All in all, yesterday was solid. I wound up becoming a fan of Dave Grohl now, having known a little more about him, and how just approachable and fun he looks. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a little crazy even for me. I mean, every other wedding they did a shot of, like, Crown and Coke, which, I'm not much of a drinker, but I partake in a shot or two. I'm 32 years old. I can drink, In fact, I actually have consumed alcohol before. I just never get in trouble for it. I mean, they tell you to drink responsibly, right? And that's what you should do. Seriously, folks, drink responsibly, okay? The last thing you need to hear is someone getting in trouble or perhaps dying because of anything alcohol related. Thank you. I mean, yeah, we no longer live in the era of prohibition, but, there's a reason why it existed in the first place. I mean, yeah, some of it was... some manipulation here and there. But some of it was valid, too. Can't say that... I mean, correlation equals causation or whatever it is. I don't know. But, I gotta say, this is the final Friday in February. And it's also the final Friday before Lent starts, and therefore, this is the last day to have meat on Fridays. Which is weird. Normally, I'm a lot better about... like, talking about that, reminding people. But this year, I kind of stunk at it. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, there are a lot more important things to talk about. And... excuse me. And Lent's only going to be for, pretty much all of March and half of April. So, should be the 17th, I think. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot. But my point is, like, this should be, or maybe it's the 16th, I forget. But, yeah, for better or for worse, February is almost over. You know, we have today, tomorrow, Sunday, and then Monday is the last day. And then we're right into March. And fitting that we get weather like this crazy stuff that we're having. Oh well. I mean, it was going to happen like that eventually. I mean, of course we were going to get weather like this. Why wouldn't we? It wouldn't be wintertime without it. I mean, even when we first get into March, it's not going to be spring until March 20th. But you know what? By the time we do get into March, spring will be on the horizon for sure. Because Rita's opens. Yeah, Rita's is opening on a Tuesday. They usually open the first Friday in March. But no, they're opening March 1st, which is a Tuesday. I'm like, all right, cool. Was not remotely expecting that. Kind of glad we're getting it a little sooner rather than later. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't think I can handle another week without Rita's. I mean, I still have a very little stock left from when I saved up for the winter. I'll probably just use that up and then be done with it. But regardless, whatever I do, last weekend in February, let's be careful out there if you're driving in this crazy snowy weather, if you do live in those areas with lots of snow. Let's rock. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and follow me on social platforms on YouTube. I'm your Halloween video for all you guys watching Joe for them. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Remember, you can want to talk to him as we here to lend you right back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.